So, my dear Gemini, today is the day you getting your full moon. The sun in your opposite sign, Sagittarius, giving the light to the moon, which is in your sign. And so we're going to the right, the 6th major arcana, and here the 14th major arcana. In that combination, we see the 14 and, of course, the 6, that's the 20. And the 20 is the last judgment, the wake-up call, which is gonna be the overall title of this reading, because Pluto is the last judgment, and Pluto has moved into Aquarius on the 19th of November. And so this is the major title for the next 20 years. We're going to see Pluto changing a lot of things in the thinking, in the way we perceive this world, and we're going to open up to a lot of mysteries, but also secrets. So the 20, but I can also calculate the 14 into a 5. The 5 and the 6 is the 11. And the 11 is the inner teacher, the inner knowing. And so here you called to awaken to blending energies, which is masculine, feminine, fire and water, etc. Right? And so the 11, you are learning from that to awaken to it. So the moon in your sign is the subconscious, is awakening to the feelings that emerge, and some feelings emerge all of a sudden, right? And that's what's so important to understand the moon, and particularly the full moon. Here the sun is the dwarf star, right? And Aquarius is the star. So here we have the blending of the dualities in the external personality perspective. And so we see that it's important to understand that you are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury in the Tarot is the magician. And so you see that Mercury brings you the language, brings you the information of the gods. And here he is like a DJ playing with the 4 elements, and he's the 5th element, right? And so you see this is going to be the stations, right? We're going to look into Mercury, we're going to look, of course, into Gemini, and we're going to look into the sun and the moon. And so the yoga position for Sagittarius, Paschimottanasana, the bending forward into yourself, learning to be a guardian angel yourself. And of course here, the king pigeon pose, one of the most difficult poses. You reach back to the feet, which is Pisces, right? Your subconscious, and you open your heart. Meanwhile, through the hands and the arms, which is your body part, you are using that deep, deep opening where she also is holding on to him, right? And so this today is where the message will come through these opposite sides. The Aquarius is the star, like I said, and Temperance in this deck looks like this. He's the guardian angel, right? He holds the sun and the moon in its equilibrium, and as such, that's the message through Sagittarius. Now, you are the Knight of Swords. You like to be fast in the way you think and in the way you talk. Is your birthday between May 10th and June 9th, then this is your court card. If not, look in the description below. You're the 3rd zodiac sign, and then connected to the 3rd house of interaction and communication. And of course, as a Gemini, you love to communicate. You love to share the message. And so here we see you running right fast towards your motorcycle. Back to the last reading, because everything is cyclical. Scorpio sun giving Gemini moon the light. The mother star says yes, and so finally be who you always wanted to be. And so a star right? The Mother Star has come here, this card in this deck. Very beautiful. There is a yes and a no card in the Wandering Star Tarot. And the star, right, Aquarius, is now talking. And we're going to look at that and see what is coming. I looked if there is a reoccurring card coming, and there isn't. And as such, we can begin the reading. So we begin with Pluto. Pluto is bringing you leaf shade. Leaf shade, the cradled energy. Here is the number, the 48. The 4 is the Emperor. The 8 is Leo, the strength. And so two fire signs come to you, right? Aries and Leo, to create the 12. And the 12 is the Hanged Man, Neptune. Letting go of the things that we need to let go so that we can become one with nature. And then the 3 is left, which is the Empress, which is Venus. And so here's the rune letter, and I'm going to read this card to you. Cradled neath the comforting branches of trees stretching, providing peace, shelter, wisdom, and direction. Contemplate the rate at which a tree breathes and lives. Join its calming pace by allowing nature's healing to kiss us all deep inside. Healing herbs and tinctures are shared with us by plant spirits, whispering on a sultry breeze under their sacred shaded foliage. Very beautiful, right? And so there is nature giving you shelter. So recognize that. What is Aquarius saying? He's bringing you the 7 of Swords, which is connected with the constellation Moon in Aquarius. And so she's taking this egg and she's insecure, right? She is thinking that she is a victim. She is thinking that she's not good enough. She has inner doubts. And so the 3 and the 7 creates a 10, a new cycle, where you have to learn to notice that the moon or the full moon is in your sign, right? And it's not in Aquarius, but nevertheless, Aquarius is bringing you an information of significance, right? Moon in Aquarius is that, okay, well, now I have to hide a star, right? Deep down, bury it, right? Because the moon is dark and the star is always bright, and the star is the sun, and the sun gives the moon the light. And so the moon in Aquarius is kind of like, who am I, right? What's going on? And so you taking things from others because for some strange reason you don't think you have it yourself. And so the 10 appears, but we also have the 20, remember? So there's the 30, and the 30 is, of course, the Empress. And the Empress gives you love and beauty and the shift to awaken to your true power, the shift that you don't need to hold on to other people's eggs, right? You can create your own eggs, you can create your own seed, and you have nature behind you. And as such, the message is hopefully clear to you, because do not take from others, right? You have enough. So then the Knight of Swords is getting the moon. And so the moon, as I have 2 decks, a German and of course English deck, I see that the moon is talking to you. The full moon is really talking to you, is saying dive deep down, because the 18 and the 3 is the 21. The whole world is feeling this full moon, because this full moon connects us to the subconscious, and we can learn to talk and we can learn to speak with others in a more gentle way, right? So the 18 turns into a 9 when we calculate it together. What is the moon saying? The moon is bringing you the Wall, the number 56. And so here we have the Hierophant and the Lovers, and calculated together we get the 11, and the 11 is a portal. So this could be 9/11, right? That is a very significant date in the United States, or the 11/9, right? We can shift it and make it the 11/9. So observe and watch and see how this wall is actually opening up and bringing you certain obstacles so that you learn, right? And the obstacle is, of course, not to take things from others, not to be dependent, not to be a victim. And here comes this moment to recognize that, right? So the 9/11 or the 11/9 as a portal, as a date that maybe is significant for you. Then, of course, I want to see what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing, and the High Priestess is coming upright. And so the 18 and the 2 is the 20. The 20 here, Pluto is talking. Dive deep into your intuition, into who you truly are as this beautiful energy, the Lovers, right? You can unite things, you can change things, you can make a difference in this world. And so this is important, right? And of course, always a High Priestess gets obstacles, because through the obstacles she learns to trust her intuition, trust the messages that come to her. And so here we see now the 20th of November, right? Or with you, the 20 and the 3, the 23rd of November. Maybe something significant happened there so that you recognize this message. Now, of course, I want to see what is the High Priestess bringing you, and the High Priestess brings you the High Priestess. And this is why I love to use all these different decks, right? Each major arcana has their own deck, and so you get a 22. You get clearly the Fool. Be foolish enough to really trust your intuition. Be foolish enough to be an Empress, right? And so here the 22 is important, and the 9 plus the 3 is the 12, right? So this is the 22nd of December as a date. And you can see this is really important, because on the 22nd of December is the first day again where the winter solstice has happened on the 21st, and the 22nd is a very important date to recognize that here a strong intuition will come to you. A strong, powerful portal will open up doors to you that you never could have imagined. And so you have the 22nd of December as a date, and this is really powerful, right? But we also, remember, have the 11 here, and so you have the 11 and the 22nd, and that's the message. Very clearly, the 11th of December and the 22nd of December are very important dates for you to remember. The 11th, it has already passed, but the 22nd is still coming to you. Then we want to see what is the Magician saying, and the Magician is bringing you the number 62, the wild woman. So be a wild woman, dance yourself free and open your heart. And the 62, we have the 6 here, the Lovers, and the 2 again, the High Priestess. So learn in the combination the 8. The 8 is the strength, with the 1 is the 9, the completion. Awaken to your own tune, awaken to your own magic, and create what you feel like creating. What is coming from your deck? The Ace of Wands. Amazing. So here you have again an 11 and the 8. The 8th of November or the 11th of August, right? And so you see here very clearly you are creating magic. You are awakening to who you truly can be, and that's what happened last time, right? The Mother Star says yes, and so finally be who you always wanted to be, and you are finally becoming who you always wanted to be. What is coming from the Mother Peace Tarot? The Ace of Cups reverse. So you have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Now this is Sagittarius Temperance, the blending of the 2 cups. And here you are having the one clear action that you know you need to do to awaken your inner feminine, which is dancing. And here she's jumping into the cup, but it's reverse. And so you are not yet totally believing into the love, right? So it's almost like you're flying high, right? It's not you falling in love, you're flying into love. Because flying into love, the higher love is up, it's not down. Falling into love is like you are trapped in the energy of being dependent on someone to love, right? When you love yourself, you love yourself. So now we have 3 times the 1, 1 here, right? And the 8. And this is so powerful because you can see that here is a clear message. 3 times the 1, become empowered, right? Get away from the 7 of Swords, of that type of thinking. Empower yourself and see that you're not a victim. See that you don't have self-doubt, right? That you allow the self-doubt to transform itself. And that's where here, turning around this card comes in, right? Become the one that loves yourself, and then everything will fall into place. Then we look into the Lovers. The Lovers is bringing you the 10 of Cups. Look at that. And the 10 of Cups, right, with the Ace of Cups is now 11 Cups. And 11 Cups again is the message, right? Is the inner teacher. Now this is Mars in Pisces. And Mars is the warrior, and Pisces are our feet where you're reaching back into. And so you are learning something really powerful, even though you think you cannot take this really conscious love, right? It's almost like you think you need to do something for this higher love. The 10 has come, and the people show you that they love you, that you are a great person. And so here comes the 11. The 11 and the 6. The 11th of June or the 6th of November again as a date. What is Sagittarius bringing? The Harvest Lodge of the Stones. The Harvest Lodge of the Stones is Capricorn. And in the next reading, we have Sun in Capricorn. She's the 10th zodiac sign, so there's a 10-10 portal. Plus here the 1, right? 3 times the 1 again. Recognize the empowerment. And we had the 1 before 3 times. And so now 6 times the 1 is like you using your third eye to awaken to who you can become. 2 times the 10 can then also be the 20. So there is a calling, a deep calling for you to awaken. What is Capricorn saying? Capricorn is bringing you the 9 of Swords. And the 9 of Swords, of course, are those thoughts that keep you awake. And I did feel it last night. I had all these thoughts and I really tried to fall asleep, but for some reason I couldn't fall asleep. And so I was working a little bit. I was writing, and then I finally fell asleep. So sometimes we need to do things, right? We need to take action, right? That's this really clear action of maybe breathing, maybe seeing that you have the power to not get stuck in this kind of thinking. Remember that. And so here the 10-10 portal, or the 20 and the 9 is the 29. Again, we get an 11 when we calculate it all together, plus the 6, right? So again, the 11th of June or the 6th of November as a date is talking here to you. So the structures, right, that Capricorn brings maybe is sometimes making you feel like this, that there are so many thoughts keeping you up at night. But remember, you have a loving community that is helping you. You have everything that you need. You don't really need to worry so much. Then what is coming from the Mother Piece, or the Ace of Swords to the left? So you have the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. So you have quite the aces, right? And the aces are here letting you know this is a higher consciousness. This is God bringing you the information, or whatever you want to call consciousness, bringing you the information. And so here the Ace of Swords is pointing to the 10 of Cups. And we did have 11 cups, remember? And here you did have the 11th cup, or the 1 cup reverse. So it's almost like, have a clear thought about that. Remember, that you don't need to put yourself down. You are worth it, because otherwise you wouldn't have the 10 of Cups, right? And so here we have the 10-10, and of course we have here the 6. The 6 and the 9 is the 15. And the 15 is Capricorn, is the devil. Don't get attached to your thoughts about maybe a relationship, about loving someone. Love yourself first, right? And understand that the 6 is left. The 6 and the 1 is the 7, the emotional intelligence to know that you can liberate yourself, right? That you can be free from any attachments, from any structures that are holding you prisoner. And so in a way, the 20 and the 1 is the 21. That's the world, and that's Saturn. Saturn sometimes comes and teaches us lessons, and we know that here the wall or the obstacles have come to you before. Then the moon. The full moon is bringing you the galactic mushroom, the divine matrix, and so we have the 18 and we have the 24. The 18 is a 9, the 24 is a 6, the 15. Don't get attached to any substances, even if it's a mushroom and it's a holy plant, right? I have used them and I know what they do, but you don't need to do that. You can also use simply your breath. And so the 9 and the 6, again, the 15. Don't get attached to nothing, right? Then we see from your deck comes the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles is like you love what you do, you work really diligently on your craft, and that's the Sun in Virgo. And so the 6 and the 8 is the 14. The 14 is Sagittarius, bringing you the blending, bringing you the understanding that everything has its moment, everything has its right recipe for you. The 5 is left. The 5 and the 9 is again the 14. And the 14, again, the 5 is left. So you see the 5 senses, right? Which here the magician uses himself as the 5th element. He has 4 elements and the 5th element right here. And so you know the message very clear here. What is then the mother piece bringing? The Chariot, which is Cancer, reverse. And so the Chariot goes out to the left, as you can see, and to the left is the inner knowledge, but then you live it to the out when you become the card. But because it's reverse, it's in the other direction, right? And so the 7 is here, the 5 and the 7 is the 12, it's the Hanged Man, and that's maybe why this card is upside down, right? Let go of thinking you need to be successful. If you love what you do, just do it. The 8 and the 7 is again the 15. The 15 brings you with the 6 to 21, the world, things we need to be really creating all the time, new things, but sometimes we can just arrive in what we have created and relax. What is Cancer bringing you, which is also the healing? The 4 of Swords. Now, this is interesting because the 4 of Swords, right, that's the peacefulness that you find deep within. The 7 swords and the 4 swords are 11 swords again. So the 11 is significant in this reading, right? The 11 is the inner teacher. You know, when you meditate, you come deep within. The 7 and the 4 is also an 11 here. And so you get the 11 a few times. So learn to not get attached to success. Learn to detach yourself. Know what you're doing it really good. And you don't need any substance. You're working with the matrix, working with the divine, right? And in that divine, you're learning everything there is to learn. You learn to heal, you learn to meditate, you learn to create your craft, and in there you finding your calling, right? Today on your full moon. Good. The last station is the Sun, and the Sun is bringing you the gravity, the number 39. So here the 19 turns into a 10, the 39 into the 12. The 12, the Hanged Man, let go, right, of thinking that sometimes the world is heavy, and the world is heavy, but also see the two butterflies that are helping you to awaken, and all the other animals that are standing around you and wanting to help you to get out of the gravity, and know that the groundedness that you're holding here is important. The 10 and the 12 is a 3, the 3 and the 10 is the 13. Transformation from Scorpio, last time, right? Finally be who you always want to be. So awaken out of this. What is coming from Sagittarius, because the sun is in Sagittarius, the 7 of Pipes, and that's Mars in Leo. So you had here 1 wand and 7, that's 8 wands. 8 wands and 8 pentacles. Take action towards perfecting what you love to do, right? The 8 is always the infinite, and learn that you awaken to spell away those demons that make you think you're not good enough, right? And so the 3 and the 7 again, a 10 here, a 10, a 10, 10, the 20. You know that nature is supporting you. You know that the leaf shade is here to support you. You know that you do not need to feel like this. And of course, the 3 and the 7 was a 10 here as well. A new cycle will begin by going deep within again. And so you see that you can push those demons away. You can awaken to your own empowerment. The Mother Piece is bringing you the Sun of Wands to the left. And the Sun of Wands to the left here, pointing to this card, is Sagittarius. And so Sagittarius is a knight as well. You are the Knight of Swords, right? And he is the Knight of Wands. Now we have 11 swords, and in the wands we have 8 wands. Now when you start thinking about things, actually we have here 9, and the ace, that's 10. We had 14, and 14 calculated together we have 5. So work on it to come to the single digit number. 5 thoughts against 8 actions, right? 8 actions will counterbalance those thoughts that you have, those nightmares, like I did when I couldn't sleep. I wake up and I start working. And so dance yourself into this liberation. Feel the freedom to awaken your senses, the fire deep within. Dance those spirits away, and notice, right, that the 3 and the 7 is the 10 and the 9, the 19. It's a 1919 portal. How beautiful. Then becomes a 1010, and the 1010 is again the 20. So you see, you are awakening. You are today realizing who you truly are, and that certain energies are simply here to bring a lesson to you. Bring a lesson to you that you don't have to be a victim, that you don't have to be indecisive, that you are sometimes just need to realize how amazing you are, right? Otherwise you wouldn't get the 10 of Cups, which is with the Ace of Cups, 11 cups, right? 11 cups. How beautiful is that, right? And you know that you are someone that doesn't need to make itself small or be a victim or have those inner doubts, right? It's like come into meditation, notice in meditation that you do not need to think about these thoughts that come up. Otherwise, just get up and work on what you love to do, right? Push these demons away. Dance yourself free, right? There's another 8 here. Dance yourself free. Dance away from those demons. Dance away and see also the galactic mushroom that is helping you to come into the divine matrix. And so see that the 22 was here. See that the 11 was many times here. And so you have a succession in there right? The 11, the 22, and the 33 is the last number where you become a master, and you're on the way to become a real master in what you're doing. And as such, you know that the full moon has come to you and is significantly talking to you and saying, dive deep and see how good you are in whatever you are intuitive doing. Wow. So I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun in Capricorn. We have the Queen of Pentacles. As such, she is talking to you, right? Very clearly. So we see that the next reading is already here. So I wish you, of course, a beautiful full moon ceremony, right? Enjoy it. And of course, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.